Welcome back into the workshop for, yes, another quick update. I have but I have repeated the method for fine adjustment for the parallel arm. I had an 8mm rod in there to begin with, simply because I had 8mm, and this time I've swapped it out for a 6mm. I have put it's actually a furniture, for connecting pieces of furniture with 6mm rods, strangely enough. But that's that little brass coloured fitting on the end that's effectively a flanged nut, and you connect furniture with, so that's what it is. Anyway, I bored out and counterbored the holes in the end. I have put a hole through that would take a threaded insert, coupled them all together, put the threaded rod in. I've got a nut coupler here and for a lock nut, and I've got a wing nut with just the two, it's a wing nut rather than a knob, and that's locked off against these two nuts. I've got a little bit left out hanging on the end here. Why? Well, sometimes if you want to move this a long way, putting a drill on it might not be a bad idea, so we can spin it up with the drill, because 50mm of travel, which this roughly has, that's 50 turns of that thing, because it's got a 1mm pitch. So now I can bring it down like this. That brass, the nut, is there so that the threaded rod doesn't actually grind into the soft MFD fibres. So now, with the with the knob pointing up, or in whatever direction you want, I can now turn it quarter of a turn, and it's indicated by the position of the knob. That's just advanced the parallel arm 1/4 of a millimetre. 1/2 millimetre, 3/4 of a millimetre, 1 full millimetre. So 1 full revolution is 1 millimetre of movement. So any increment that you decide to fine tune, you can. Now, why is it long and floppy like this? It's sticking out there for me to catch. At this stage, we don't know where these rails will go. It can only ever go up to the track rail. So that's, at the moment, let's have a look, just under 100mm. So I could, in theory, move this so that it's just inside the table, the MFT top itself, so I don't catch it when I go past, which I'll probably do at some stage. But at the moment, we can advance it in and out on the pad as a one unit, on a pad as this what I'm calling the pad just at the moment. So I can lift this up, move it out, drop it back down, pin it into place to increase my capacity by 100mm. But now, being able, and it is such a nice mechanism to adjust, there is no magic in it. And that's the beauty. It's something that I cobbled together in the workshop to fulfill a requirement that was easy to do and cheap and repeatable. Now, once I get it into position, I've got the measurement. I may have done a test cut. I can advance or retract this. This will always, at the moment, have to have the hand pressure to push it back. Not really an onerous thing to do in the workshop, is it? Or I can eventually put a spring on it, which I don't think I'll wind up doing. It's just another thing that, if I don't have to do, it keeps it simple. So I can wind it out to where I want, spin the lock nut up, and with finger pressure, that's it. It won't move back. And if it moves out like that, I can return it in the knowledge that this wasn't able to turn for some weird reason. So that lock nut just prevents this from turning. I don't know what would make it turn, but it does. That's the other way of looking at it. The threaded rod, because it's in a threaded insert, can turn quite freely. I'm just using the fingertips to do that. It would be nice to be able to say with some certainty locked off, and it is well positioned. The lightness of the rod was a thought, but I'm 50 mil of 6mm rod sticking out here. Yeah, it's not much. And I made sure that this the nut can retract back at least flush with the surface, so I keep some of that capacity available. So all in all, a Heath Robinson workshop made parallel arm, accurate, tunable, fine tunable in this way, infinitely variable here. How much does it cost? Well, time, that's what it's cost, and a bit of frustration. But the pins I've already got because they'll be used for other uses. The wing nut I had already. So, there is a wee cost. But if I said the 2 pins here, 2 there, so 6 pins are about, say, $2. So that's $12, and there's probably about $5 or $6 here. So for under $20, I've made a very versatile, multi-use, or is going to be used in multiple positions, tool or accessory for my MFT style of top, doable in the workshop. You could say it cost me nothing because I already had all of those components. Correct. These pins, if I decided this was a failure, these pins will still be used elsewhere. That's part of why I wanted to have this system develop and have other ideas. I'm not developing it for commercial reasons. But if someone came along to me and says, hey, we'll do this commercially, well, we've got a lot of the problems sorted out because I want this to function well just for my peace of mind in the workshop. Not a bad thing, I believe. And it does, at this stage, work very easily, advancing or pulling back the rails into a position that gives me my function there for cutting the narrow strips. And narrow strips is the thing. I can get this one, that like it down. I was cutting strips that were only like 1.5mm thick. That's the potential. Don't say it's a good idea. I just say that's the potential. In fact, at one stage, the offcut was 1.5mm thick. And it just sat there underneath the track saw, didn't fall over. And I'm going, that's impossible. No, it was trapped there nicely. But we've got that flexibility now. As I also mentioned, if I wanted to, I can use different sized aluminium extrusions or materials that I've ripped down and they have proved stable enough to be used in this manner. I can pop that in there and use the reductions via aluminium section. This one will be fixed to the actual custom wood rail. It's sitting a bit nicer than it was before. It hasn't got any wobble, so therefore it's more square to the base than it once was. And as I said, tunable if I need to shim it with the shim material. So all in all, Heath Robinson agriculture, we sometimes refer it to here. It's quite agricultural. Okay, it's something that you've done on farm or in the workshop in this case. For a need, it functions very well, and it's either free or $20. Yippee. Great stuff. Very, very happy with the outcome thus far. Rightio, that's almost complete. All I've got left to do now is to drill this and fix the rail to it. And I might just thread the aluminium, put a wee bolt in there, tighten it up, she's done. And that will effectively be the end of that. The only other thing I will be checking is once I've got this dialed in, I'm going to check the differences when I move it to a different pivot point. But my thoughts are at the moment, I've got to choose whether I go with a 100mm spaced pivot or a 200mm spaced pivot. The 200mm has much more range. Well, it's got bigger range this way. But whether that's required or not, I don't know. Might be a good thing. Or have a second set of pivots with that, or built them in. I really don't know. Don't mind either way. But that's not an issue at the moment. At here, as I said, we've only got 50 mil of range for this, but we can compensate that with our packers. So anyway, rightio, that's it. Sunday afternoon, cup of tea time. Rightio, see you later now. Bye.